The sun was blazing over the endless sands of Persia. Drums thundered, horses snorted. Thousands of soldiers marched beneath banners of gold and crimson. The army of Alexander the Great, the young king who had conquered more of the known world than any man before him. He was only 30, yet his name already echoed across continents, from Greece to India. They called him the Invincible, son of Zeus, master of the world. But on this day, the great conqueror wasn't thinking about wars or victories. He was thinking about silence, about how even triumph could feel empty. Under a lonely olive tree at the edge of a small village, Alexander dismounted his horse. His golden armor gleamed under the sun, but his eyes looked tired. He waved his guards away. "I need a moment," he said. The air smelled of dust and wind. A few birds circled lazily above. And then, from the shade of a nearby stone wall, came a small, rough voice. "King of the world, you're standing in my sunlight." Alexander turned. There sat a man, barefoot, wrapped in rags, his beard untrimmed, his face weathered by years of sun. He looked like he owned nothing, and yet somehow he seemed utterly at peace. Alexander frowned, half amused, half insulted. "Do you know who I am?" he asked. The man yawned. "I do. You're Alexander of Macedon, the one who believes he can own the world." The soldiers nearby tensed, hands on their swords. But Alexander raised a hand to stop them. Something about this beggar's calm intrigued him. "What is your name, old man?" "I am Diogenes, a philosopher," the man said. "Some call me a beggar. I call myself a free man." Alexander smiled slightly. "A philosopher? Then tell me, Diogenes, what do you teach?" Diogenes stretched, letting the sunlight bathe his face. "I teach men to need nothing, so they can never be slaves to anything." The king took a step closer. "You live in dirt," he said. "Yes," Diogenes replied, "but I sleep well." Alexander chuckled. "And you have no possessions." Diogenes shrugged. "That's why no one can steal from me." Alexander's curiosity grew. "Do you not envy me? My power, my armies, my treasures?" The philosopher tilted his head. "You have conquered the world, Alexander, but have you conquered yourself?" For a moment, silence hung between them. Heavy, uncomfortable, true. Alexander straightened his shoulders. "You're a bold man, Diogenes. Tell me what I can give you. Gold, food, land? I will grant you anything you wish." The old man squinted at him, annoyed. "Yes, there is something you can give me." Alexander smiled. "Name it." Diogenes pointed to the king's shadow falling across his body. "Move a little to the side," he said. "You're blocking my sunlight." The soldiers gasped. Some even reached for their swords. But Alexander laughed, a deep, honest laugh that startled everyone. He stepped aside. "Very well," he said. "I shall not steal your sunlight." As the king walked back to his horse, his general whispered, "My lord, that man insulted you. Why do you humor him?" Alexander looked at the horizon, the same horizon he had been chasing all his life. "Because," he said softly, "if I were not Alexander, I would wish to be Diogenes." The general stared at him in confusion, but the king's gaze was far away, somewhere beyond the wars, beyond the gold, beyond the glory. Days later, as Alexander's army continued its march east, he could not forget the old philosopher. He thought of Diogenes lying in the sunlight, content with nothing, while he himself, conqueror of nations, could not find rest even under a golden canopy. At night, Alexander looked at the stars and whispered to himself, "How strange that a man with nothing could be richer than the man who has everything." Years passed. Victories came and went. Cities rose and fell. Alexander grew weary, his heart heavy with the weight of endless conquest. In Babylon, on his final night, he remembered that conversation. He turned to his closest friend and said, "When I die, leave my hands open outside my coffin." "Why, my king?" "So the world will see that even Alexander leaves with nothing." Centuries passed, empires crumbled, and names were forgotten. But the story of Alexander and Diogenes lived on. It became more than history. It became a mirror, a reminder that no matter how high we rise, we all stand under the same sun. That freedom isn't found in owning the world, but in needing nothing from it. So if you ever find yourself chasing too many things, money, fame, approval, remember the beggar who asked for nothing but sunlight and the king who realized that was the only thing he couldn't give. Because in the end, the greatest conquest is not over lands or people, but over your own desires.